Good evening. My name is Likuyani Alien. Sorry for the delays. We are live and ready to rumble. Good evening, Beryl, and if you can hear me, Mariako. We seem to be experiencing a lot of technical delays from Beryl. However, in case you're joining us, this is Ellie's Hangout. Karibu sana. It's my pleasure to have you as always. And yes, it was a great weekend for those who know and understand music, especially our guest artist for the whole month, launched his new single. And of course, the single is Simple Love. In case you didn't find it, get to YouTube, but here is a teaser of how it went.
So every time that I'm by you, I'm gonna make an effort to secure your little insecurities. And every time you spend with me, nakuahidi utajua, utaamini that I'm just a simple man.
There will be other competing outside factors that will affect your relationship. Like you have an issue with your partner, the first thing you do, you run to your friends, you run to your sisters, you run to your peers to get advice.
We have weak men out there, and there are men who are weak in all areas. So probably talking to somebody else about your sexual experiences in bed might have been their way of getting the other woman. I don't know. So I will not sit and defend that.
Masculinity is the nature of a man. Do we create nature?
Even as we say that the boy child is under siege, we need to ask ourselves, how have we brought up this boy child that we're talking about? Is it the Kababa generation? As long as it's the Kababa generation, we will always have problems.
Great. I hope we could be able to get our guest back on studio because tunataka tuongelee mambo mengi sana. And if you're hanging out with me tonight, this is Ellie's Hangout. Of course, the program is Ellie's Hangout, and this session is against the odds. So I'm gonna try and find out if Beryl is ready for us. In the meantime, do share the link, invite a friend, tag a friend, and of course, you know the drill. Hashtag responding to live, TheArtsinHeart, and of course, this is Ellie's Hangout. So on Ellie's Hangout, I bring different guests from all walks of life. We talk about things that we are doing to change our life. And it's also the opportunity for you and me to get to know each other better and understand how things do work beyond and within the borders. So in case you're joining, remember the program is Ellie's Hangout every Sunday from 7:30 p.m. Berlin time, of course, and that's Central European time, and 9:30 p.m. Kenyan time. We are having delays from our end to have the guest in studio, and we will try as much as possible to bring them on so that we can get to discuss this. Ama namna gani? Ninaona mmelala sana, sijui watu mmeenda wapi, or you had a delay and you are very pissed off. So I have no idea how we can have this working. But in the meantime, Shishwini, James, karibu sana. I hope the little one is doing better. And for every one of you that are joining online, I can see you guys, so do welcome. Meanwhile, let's get a look of how things went during last week and the things that you missed out on, and in case you missed them out, what you should look out for. Ama namna gani? Why is it becoming a common trend for Black Africans to feel like their skin being lighter? It's more interesting.
The rates at which people are bleaching are getting higher and higher by day because society has said what should be beautiful and what is not beautiful, you know?
It boosts your confidence. So that is what most ladies think. I saw the challenge that you posted. A black Porsche, a white Porsche. Not many people like white cars. Like black looks more sexy, black looks beautiful. So fair skin, black skin is also fair skin.
But when we come to casting these strong black women, we want to cast them for security guard roles. I don't know what ideas we're driving.
You start having different, like Nduko said, there's some places that don't even bleach. I am tempted to think about some other places as well.
Okay, so that is it. For those of you who don't know where it all started, this is, of course, a sponsorship courtesy of ArtsinHeart. And I see that you guys are ready to go. However, unfortunately, we are having a lot of connectivity issues to our guest. And, we can always switch and see if things work. Let's see. Good evening, Beryl. Can you hear me? And how are you? Beryl? Beryl, if you can hear me, I think Beryl doesn't notice she's online.
Yes. Hi, Ellie.
Kindly go ahead. Go ahead. How are you? You seem to be living in the south of Limpopo and north of Sahara. Okay, sawa sawa. Meanwhile, let's see who is tuned in. Catherine Osita, good evening. How are you doing? Shishwini James, Kipro Roda, as always, the support is huge and I appreciate all of you. So, these things do happen. And that's why I think live shows needs our chache. Needs our chache because just when you think everything is going smooth, hiyo kitu inafanya vile inafanya. But meanwhile, we can change and have this discussion either way. So in case you're joining me, just send in the comment section so that I'm aware you are there. And on top of that, tuendelee na mjadala. Mjadala tunaweza switch ama namna gani, then we can have these things happen. So how was your weekend? What did you do that went well? And tuende tuangalie ni nini iko kwa archives, because in the archives we always have interesting stuff to talk about. Let me bring you this and tell me how this how this topic stood out for you. Nokabi Kamau tells me it is the Victoria Falls secrets.
If you have not invested in a proper sexual toy, please do not improvise.
You never know, because at the end of the day, it's about making the fingers do the walking. Sorry, is it the talking?
It's the walking.
So I'll talk on behalf of the girls who are in the rural Kakamega, who don't know what it is, and they go to church and they're told this is a sin.
The most funny thing about sex is the one thing that you're taught not to do since you're a small girl. And then when you get married, everybody is telling you, go ahead and do that bad thing.
Yes, we are back. And yes, Beryl seems to be having a weak internet connection. Of course, John Singer, yes, we are trying to have her on board. But whichever way happens, that's what I'm saying. This thing is not meant for everybody. So congratulations to each and every one of you guys that are doing live shows and things are running smoothly and nothing seems to be interfering. John Singer, I think it's all the way in Kakamega, Kenya. I appreciate you. Aya, huyo ni Ricky Prodo anasemaje, nilitaka Google Pangolin ni nini. Okay, I did some research for you guys, and this is something about Pangolin, and this is in a previous interviews that Beryl actually did, and she's doing an amazing job. But I wanted her to be the one to talk about what she is doing. But as things seem, itabidi tuifanye wenyewe ama namna gani? So yes, there you go. A sneak peek of what pangolins are all about.
The major threats to pangolin illegal hunting and poaching. And this comes from humans, of course. And if it's not controlled, with the amount of pangolin being trafficked, we might lose them soon. Pangolins are very shy animals, and human presence makes them very nervous from our findings. So people should actually work towards, whether in their own capacity, whether it's creating awareness or talking about it or doing research into protecting pangolins in their own habitat. The fact that people still demand for wildlife products, pangolins included, makes me sad and makes me want to do more in my capacity as a researcher and a conservationist. Because one of the reasons is traditional and cultural beliefs. So whether it's in African country or Europe or wherever, there are those traditions and cultural beliefs that link some species of wildlife to whatever they're using it for. Consequences for pangolins 2021 is going to be, bad to us if it continues, if the trade continues. But we are hoping that with more organizations coming up to talk about pangolin, to research on pangolin, to educate people on pangolin, we are actually going to reduce the number of pangolins being poached from the wild.
So Kiproroda, I think Kiproroda, you have a few of the answers of what a pangolin is, and a pangolin is a mammal. A pangolin is mammal. The only difference is it has scales, and so far we've identified there are 8 species, and 4 of them are in Asia. The other 4 are in Africa. And Beryl was to shed more light into this and why it is becoming one of the most sought after mammal. And why is it a mammal? Just like a mammal, it has mammary glands, meaning inanyonyesha watoto ama mtoto. Number 2, a pangolin actually gives birth. They have sexual organs. That means they have a vagina, for that matter. They have a womb, and that is for the lady one. And for a male one, they have actually the penis. Yes. And the other interesting fact about pangolins is that they give birth once a year. So it's about 135 days when I was talking to 135 or so days when I was talking to Beryl. And that is what makes it very interesting mammal. However, kuna watu ambao at the end of the day, they will stop eating any other thing. And the only thing they want to eat is the pangolin. There is a story that came up and it brought a lot of issues that pangolins are actually one of the mammals or animals that caused coronavirus. So far research has disqualified that theory. Research has shown that they have no association whatsoever with what happened in Wuhan. What that's the name there in China. So at the end of the day, unapata, as scientists try to figure out how things work and what is working, at the end of the day, it was disqualified that it has no connection to do with the coronavirus. But again, science is always based on facts that exist, facts that have been researched, and facts that are supposed to come later on. So tuendelee na story ya pangolin. Kipro, I see you're very interested about this. The other part of pangolin that I got to find a little bit more interesting, it is what it eats. Ideally, a pangolin eats ants, wadudu. So there's been a story that people want to kill them because they are eating their cabbages and things like that. And to your disappointment, they do not feed on anything else except wadudu. Na hizo pangolin ziko na tabia fulani kama za Waluya huko or tabia za Wakisii. They go out only in the evening, so they are nocturnal animals. They only appear and reappear from 5 in the morning. I mean in the evening towards 8 o'clock to go hunting. And when they go hunting kwa hizo, the anthills. So why are they actually interesting mammals to talk about? And why are we supposed to preserve pangolins? So for those of you who didn't check the video, I'm going to rerun it again and come back and again re-explain a few things here. Hopefully we can be able to get Beryl, but if we don't get Beryl, remember what? The show must continue.
The major threats to pangolin is illegal hunting and poaching. And this comes from humans, of course. And if it's not controlled, with the amount of pangolin being trafficked, we might lose them soon.
And yes, we are back. Let me see if I can have Beryl. Beryl, are you there and can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. I don't know what happened.
No, these things do happen. These things do happen. You just made me a researcher. I'm very famous right now. And thank you for giving me the honors.
I hope you didn't misconstrue the information.
It doesn't matter. The bit that matters, they believed me, and because I'm the only one speaking, they cannot tell me anything. At the end of the day, nimewambia, pangolins, they go out in the night. They are nocturnal. I think that's one thing that is true. The only difference is pangolins and Macoris, they have something in common. They prefer night things. However, looking at a closer range, nafikiria only Kisis and Luyas can see pangolins. Ama namna gani?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is it true? Let's start from there, and then we take it back to the top. Kindly introduce yourself.
No, not really. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Beryl Makori. I'm a wildlife researcher and a conservationist. I work on all wildlife, especially mammals. I've done quite a lot on bats for the better part of my career. At the moment, I'm working on pangolins. Interesting topic, especially since 20th of February was Pangolins Day. So it's not a bad timing to have this conversation now.
They even have their own days. And some Kenyans here do not know even their birthdays. This is so amazing. Tell me more about pangolins, my dear. And I'd actually lay the ground bare for you. But now that you're here, let's do this again. What are pangolins?
A pangolin is a mammal. It's the only mammal with scales. Most of them are nocturnal. They are very territorial animal. By territorial, it means that they live by themselves. So they are solitary and territorial. So you find a pangolin by itself most of the time. If you find more than one pangolin, it's either during the mating season, so the males come looking for the females, or it's a mother and its baby. The baby, we call it a pup. So I might skip and say a pup and people wonder what I'm talking about. Yes.
You just said pangolins are solitary and they like their own dominion. So they only meet when meetings have to be done. Are you trying to tell me pangolins have some characters like Akina Jontes and Akina Karo? They only meet when it's necessary.
Brayo.
Akina Brayo, yes.
Yes.
Great. So give us a little bit history.
Only.
Yes.
Most of the time, okay, so the territory of a pangolin can be quite big, depending on the area and other factors. So it has the feeding areas within the territory. So it's very unlikely and rare for it to cross to another one's territory, unless it's moving to another place, or during the mating season, now the males come over and all that. Yeah.
No, you actually just said the males go for the sleepover and not the opposite. I'm telling you, these animals have strange characters, but it is what it is. So, Beryl, why then research on pangolins?
Okay, just before I answer your question on
Yes.
what you've just said, so commonly it's the females who go to the males.
Yes,
That is what
that's why
has
we
been
send the
published
fair,
all over.
right? That's why we send
But
the fair, not
from
the
our
opposite.
research, yeah, from our research, it's otherwise.
Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, from our research, we've seen otherwise. We've seen the males coming looking for the females. So we are still looking into doing more research for more years so that we can actually ascertain that and maybe find out the reason why these ones in Kenya are behaving differently. Maybe they have been influenced by Akina Brayo and Caro and all that.
No, you know what I'm thinking is it's not even what Akina Karo are doing. I'm just thinking they are trying to tell you this discussion we've been having, women and men rights, and it's telling us equality doesn't just mean you are the one not to be sent fair. We can actually send us fair and we come to you. But more serious matters now. Again, Beryl. Pangolins apparently have become a threatened species because they are being trafficked at a high rate and they are being hunted for whatsoever reason. So why dive into this research, and why is it necessary now to start talking about pangolins?
So from
Wallahi, na tena even the Beryl ametuacha. You know, Beryl is acting sweet. So as she acts sweet, because of her connection, you guys can get to the keyboard warriors and let's start sharing this information. So from the research that she was talking about, I want her to come and talk to us about. So Beryl, twende kazi.
Oh God. Sorry, I don't know what keeps happening. I keep losing you on and off.
No, it's okay, Beryl. We understand. We can manage through. Just carry on with your points, and then a few questions are coming actually for you online. So go ahead.
Yes. So I have always had this passion of trying to educate people about wildlife. So when I find that there is a species not well known, or there are negative ideologies attached to them, I always try to find out why. So I do research. That is what scientists do. You cannot say something without having done research on it. So that's why I went into it. So first it was like for my own knowledge to find out what is this thing about pangolins. Why is the fuss about pangolins in the whole world? Why is everyone now rushing to poach and hunt pangolins? And then that wanting to know for myself grew to something that now I wanted to do professionally. So that's why I went into the research for pangolins.
Okay. I'm gonna take you back to the questions, the questionnaires you're receiving from the guests here, rather from the comment section, so that they actually know I'm not ignoring their questions. I'm just trying to get this thing working. And these are questions we're supposed to answer towards the end of it. But these are questions, kindly put it in mind so that we can be able to answer to it later on. Where can we see pangolins in Kenya? And there is one here who is saying, NNP kuna pangolins, that is Nairobi National Park kuna pangolins. These are questions you'll actually answer later on. I will put you to tasks to do that, because I don't want people to actually finish my head with those questions. Are pangolin in Kenya by any chance? And in case actually somebody that was joining this in the introduction clip that I ran, I actually showed that, but Beryl will come to it. And then there is still this one. She says that she will have sleepless night thinking about pangolins. I don't know why. I don't know. It's because the way they look cute, or the shape of their face, or their mouth. Kwa sababu ya tabia zao za jioni jioni. This is something that we will have to discuss. So back to you, Beryl. We have said what pangolins are, but how many species of pangolins do we have, and where can they be found?
So globally, the whole world, we have 8 species of pangolin. 4 are found in Asia, and the other 4 are found in Africa. Unlike many other species, there is no crossing. For example, we can say like birds, ndege. You can find a species of bird found in Africa, in Kenya, and you can find it in Europe or, you know, Asia or something like that. For pangolin, it's a clear cut. 4 are in Asia, and the other 4 are in Africa. Out of the 4 in Africa, we have 3 species found in Kenya. Now, out of these 3, 1 is the most common species. It is the one that most people have seen, if they have seen a pangolin before. And it's very common. It's a ground pangolin, means it's always found on the ground, feeding or moving or, you know, living, all that. And then we have another one, which is a tree pangolin, which is mostly found in Kakamega forest. And then we have another one called a giant pangolin. It's the biggest of the 4 we have. It's also a ground, of course, given with the size, it cannot be on trees. And it's a good news for us because it was not recorded to be found in Kenya before. It has always been said to be found in Uganda and, you know, the west side. So it's something we are interested in, and we are looking into, you know, finding out if they've extended to Kenya.
You know, I'm listening to you as I actually try to get the facts so that you do not lie to me. Yeah? You know, you scientists always come up with things and ideas, so do not think I'm ignoring you by any chance. And for you that is watching, share this link to the rest of your members. I mean, tunataka kujua the short form of pangolin. Can I call them pango because I'm Kenyan?
That's what we call them. That's what we call them. We call them a pango.
A pango. Great, great, great. There are people that are crazy. They are asking a lot of questions here, but we will actually talk to these questions and address them. You have said 4 in Asia, 4 in Africa, and more specifically, there are 3 in Kenya, and the other one is in Uganda, because you mentioned Uganda.
Because you weren't listening.
No, you say there's lucky one, the one of the ground.
There is,
it's supposed to be mostly in the West. You said that. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so the 4 species found in Africa, 3 are in Kenya. 1 is a tree pangolin, mostly found around Kakamega area. The second one is a ground pangolin, most common, most seen. And then the third one is called a giant ground pangolin. It's the biggest of the 4. It's a bit rare because we call it a range. Its range has been from Uganda going to the west, but it has been seen in Kenya recently. So the 4th species is found in West Africa.
West Africa.
So are we?
And
yes,
specifically, we are clear. We are clear. Now, tumeanza na watu wa Kakamega, and this is good news to Kakamega. We've said it's in Kakamega forest.
Yes.
Kwa miti. Watu wa Kakamega, if you're here, kindly tag a friend, tell them kuna pango in Kakamega, na kuna zingine ukielekea Uganda. See, Uganda is close to us, so it's not bad news. It's not bad news. So Beryl, give me the science behind you guys disqualifying that coronavirus has no relationship with pangolins.
We haven't disqualified that. We are saying there is still no scientific evidence.
Now, so you were studying bats the other day because you were studying
evidence. I cannot say corona came from pangolin.
Yeah, but when you are studying bats,
Yeah.
what changed your mind into pangolins? Muliona kuna gold mine huko ama nini iliendelea?
No, it's just I'm still working on bats. But when you are doing more than one thing, there is always one that supersedes the other in some type of way. And now many people have known me for pangolin because of this crisis and all this news all over about pangolins. But if you look at my background, you'll see me more on bats.
But
I
Beryl,
actually do
you are a
have
strange
done
lady.
way more on bats. So
This is not personal, but I find you a little bit strange. You are dealing with bats. You are dealing with the pangos. Are you also dealing with the snakes? And by any chance, kindly, are you also from this other side of the region? Are you from Western region by any chance? Because I want to understand your passionate inclusion about animals and wild animals, especially creatures that look strange. Oh no, Beryl just decided not to answer that question. Beryl decided not to answer that question. I hope she will come back. Let me just read through your comments very fast. Pangolins, yes, John Senga, you have it. That pangolins are actually can be seen in Kenya, and those areas have been mentioned, including Kakamega, where you are actually watching this from. Maswali tumezijibu Kipro Roda. We have Edgar, who is asking how much for a pangolin, because this guy seems to be interested with the price tag. I don't know about that. Again, they say Luxby, okay, I can offer my support. Thank you, Senga. I'll contact you after this so that we can fix this. Somebody is saying here, road trip Kakamega, here we come. I must see these pangolins. Okay, interesting fact there. We have sisi watu Kanairo, mnasema pango, tutaona nini. Nafikiria uende Pangani, utaiona Pangani station kuna pango. That's on a light note, though. That is only found in Kakamega because they have things in common. Yes, for sure. They have things in common because remember, these are nocturnal animals. Unless when mtu wa Kanairo unafanya biashara usiku, the only other place you can find these things is where people decide to walk in the middle of the night. And we know who those people are. This is, of course, on a lighter note. We have, yes, Pango, here we come, Kakamega Hoye, and I'm loving this. I hope the Kakamega County chief is watching this because I'm really advertising this county. And need I say more because I'm one of them, I'm their own son. So they should be actually paying me royalties for that. So, Beryl, you're back. Unatuchezea kama traffic lights za Nairobi, situfanyie mchezo tafadhali.
Utauliza watu wa Safaricom Fiber.
Don't even mention their name. They didn't pay for that. Okay. Let's do this. So, Beryl, enough of the groundwork. We've done it. Let's now get this a little bit going. So, why are they being hunted? And the most trafficked mammals? Why?
So pangolins are trafficked and hunted to be sold to an Asian market. The Asians, I can't mention the countries per se, people can find out by themselves. But the Asian countries, they use it for the meat and for their Chinese traditional medicine. So the same way they hunt our rhinos, our elephants, it's the same thing. We totally don't understand how, because if people have seen the videos you are playing, I was actually seeing, I don't know whether people were seeing me then, but the scales are made from keratin. Keratin is the same thing that makes our hair, that makes our nails. So if a pangolin scale is such a powerful medicine, why don't we harvest our nails? Just a question.
Mine are looking strange. I'm thinking if I should harvest them. But I do harvest them because most of the time when I'm thinking, I do that. But anyway.
Yeah. So
it's for the meat and for their scale.
And the scale is majorly used for their traditional medicine.
But is there any proof of the medicinal value of this? I know there's no doctorship into this, but do you have found any proof that they actually have some value? Because somebody was asking me, kamoja kanatoka ngapi?
With my work, I'm not allowed to go deeper into investigations of prices and all that because it's a black market, of course. So even if it are being investigated, you know, there are law enforcers.
But there are proof to show that, because I have some information that there is actually international law protecting these mammals against trafficking and hunting.
Yeah, they are. Actually, pangolin now is the most protected animal, especially in Kenya. There are something we call...
Ngoja kwanza. Ukipatikana kwa barabara ukitembea usiku, hauna mask, utachapwa kofi. Wakipata pango imepotea, itaitiwa helicopter.
Pangolin ikikufa, I go down with a helicopter to get it for postmortem.
Oh, Kenyans, you know where we belong. It's all right. Continue.
Pangolin is the most protected animal right now. Ukipatikana na pangolin, even a single scale, you get the highest punishment or fine.
Kama ngapi hivi so far? Do you have the figure?
7 years in jail, no fine.
No fine?
Yeah.
Miaka 7 na serikali inanilisha na niliuza kamoja, we can discuss.
But you know that is one crime. Like one charge. So ukipatikana na pangolin, maybe if it's the whole animal, you will be charged by for killing, for possession, for illegal hunting, for, you know, all these other things. For molesting. Molesting is like kurushia mawe, you know, throwing stones or sticks at it. All these things, when combined, it's not just 7 years.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I'm thinking about my options. I'm not planning on doing that. And I hope also you guys that are watching here and commenting, you're not planning on hunting pangos. We are not planning on doing that. So the medicinal value is one of the reasons they're being trafficked, and for their meat, especially in the Asian market. So as a country and as a researcher, what other ways are you doing to make sure that you're actually protecting them? Do you have a tracking system for these animals? And if you do, how exactly does it work? If you're allowed actually to discuss this.
Yeah. So as a researcher, I do research. First, you have to know, even if you want to talk to people about something, you have to know what you want to tell them. Yeah. So I cannot start saying I'm conserving pangolin and I don't know what a pangolin is or its ecology, like how does it live, what does it, how long does it stay outside eating, how does it mate, how many children does it get, and all that.
Hapo kwa mate nimefurahia, turudi hapo. Hapo kwa mate turudi hapo kwanza.
Okay.
Because we want to know I want to know the whole story behind the mating. I just mentioned it passively, but I'm meant to understand about, I need to know about if there's something to do with their lifespan, if they make children, because I think they'll be called children. No, they are called pups. So if you call your child a pups, remember there is a pango. So don't be calling your child a pups. Kwanzia leo wa mama, stop calling your children pups. Otherwise, nitakuonyesha vile pups inafanana. Yes, Beryl.
So pangolins are made for a period of how many months? Between May and July, August there.
Na si ndio time ya Kenya pia wanakuanga busy kwa sababu baridi iko July. So you see, they are actually mammals. They are mammals. They can relate with the weather. Okay.
Yeah. So that is the period they mate most of the time, and they have a specific mating period. And then the lady gets pregnant and carries the pregnancy for 135 days. That's about 4 months.
My school fees was not wasted. I said 135 days.
Good.
Great.
And then when it gives birth, it breastfeeds exclusively. The way tunaambiwa hospitali, exclusively for 3 months. And then sasa they start teaching the pup to feed for another 3 to 4 months. And then akifika 6 months, the pup leaves and goes to form their own territory.
Okay.
So it goes for, when it's about 6 months, it's still called a sub-adult. It's not really a pup and it's not an adult pangolin. So these ones are the ones that are at risk the most. because one, you know, vijana, like unaambia mtoto kaa kwa nyumba, amefika teenager and all that, don't go outside, don't go kurandanana kwa barabara. Sasa wewe ukitoka hivi nyuma yako. That is the way these adults work.
Okay.
So they're still trying to find their way around. So sometimes you can find them walking during the day, which is not common with pangolins, and that is when
So
they
those
get
are
attacked now.
those are
they
the ones that
poachers,
have
you
a
know,
problem
like
of discipline. They have indiscipline cases. Adolescents inazisumbua. Okay.
You can say that. Yes. Kitu kama hiyo.
Okay, go ahead. We are still with you. Go ahead.
So yes. We've talked about mating now.
Yeah, mating, you've said it, but I need to know about the feeding program. Nasikia pia wako na feeding program, wanaletewa rationing na vitu kama hiyo na wanakula na mpango. They don't just overeat. Tell us about their eating.
So pangolins, as we said, they are nocturnal animals. That means they come out in the evening. They are active in the evening. The whole day mchana wanaishi wako kwa mashimo, they're in the burrows. So the evening can be a bit different. That's why we just say evening. I cannot say a specific time because another one may come out at 4, another one at 5, 5:30, 7, 8, you know. But then whenever they come out, they feed for about 3 to 4 hours maximum.
3 to 4 hours.
Like that is maximum time.
Hizo ni Netflix kama 3 hivi ama 2. It's all right.
But you know, the thing is, most of the time it doesn't mean that the burrow they are in, chakula iko hapo next. They may go even about 10 kilometers a night. And if people have seen the video, it's not a really, really fast walker.
Inatembea na maringo fulani hivi.
Yes, so you can imagine for it to get enough food. So when it lives for that period of hours, it eats quite a lot. The people who did that sort of research said it eats about 20,000 ants or termites per night.
20,000 ants or termites?
That is like an average. So that is all they do, and then they come back to rest. But when we have a mom who has a pup, they like moving burrows, either because of the safety or to be closer to food, because when they have the pup and they leave the pup in the burrow, kwa shimo, they cannot go for very long distances. They need to be near food, waende wakule warudi, mtoto anyonye.
So they have actually they have like almost the human instinct of taking and nurturing for a baby. Interesting.
Yes.
Sasa wale mama nyanaendanga mogoka wameacha watoto, what do you tell them?
Anyway, so those ones, their activity is a bit different. Others, I'll talk about the mating season after, but the mothers, the activity is a bit different. So they leave, they go looking for a burrow, a new burrow, shimo mpya, nyumba mpya wanataka kuhama, anaenda anatafuta, anakagua, ana make sure iko sawa, and then anarudi, anachukua mtoto.
So they go hunt for a house. It's like they go for house hunting. Pita. Umesema unapenda mashimo, so na assume mpita pipeline, umeingia hivi, umenyorosha, umeingia kule kwingine. So yeah, this is very interesting discussion, and Beryl's computer is playing cat and mouse with us, but she's back. You can take your water. I think your computer needed you to take a commercial break. Go ahead, please, Beryl.
Yes, I don't know how much they had.
No, we had everything, but I want now to take you to something, and these are questions you already answered. For those who are asking, actually, so far there's no research that has proven pangolins are connected to the spread of the coronavirus that happened in the marketplace, as they say, back in the China Republic. So far, but it remains a thing that has to be put into perspective once the data shows it. But at least we still have the vaccine. Yes, go ahead.
I may say something that, you know, for an animal to transmit diseases to us, it means we are the ones who are going into to the animal's privacy. Hakuna vile pangolin itatoka huko ikuje ikuume, haina hata meno. Okay?
Okay, haina meno juu inatumia nini?
Ulimi to feed.
So watu mmependa kufanya hivi ulimi mjue nyinyi pango. Tuendelee.
So it's humans who are the problem of this, all wildlife. Humans are the ones wanasumbua wildlife. If you leave pangolins in the wild, where are we going to get these viruses people are complaining about now?
But they come to eat cabbages because those are some of the stories that have been peddled about pangolins.
Pangolins do not eat anything else apart from ants and termites. I repeat, pangolins do not eat anything else. Ants, termite, na maji. Period.
Okay. And you said they are not... okay, I don't know if you said or if I'm thinking you said, because there are a lot of information flowing through my head. How then... do they have a security? Should we be concerned that they can attack us if we meet them because how they look a little bit fierce?
In my career as a wildlife person, I've never seen a docile animal like a pangolin. Even bats can bite you if you handle them. Ukishika popo, anaweza kuuma, juu ana meno. Pangolins don't. If you go close to a pangolin, it lies down flat on the ground. It doesn't move. It's so much afraid. If you touch it, yes, if you touch it, it coils into a ball.
And that is now what I'm talking about, their defensive mechanism.
Yes. Now, when it coils into a ball, 4 grown, strong men cannot pull it apart. Wale wanasemaga wa Kakamega mmekula ukali na mrenda. Huwezi fanya hiyo. So that is the only defense
Pango just proved you wrong.
Yes. And when it's curled into that ball, that's why they are very easy target to poach and to traffic. Because ikijikali into that ball, it will stay like that until it feels safe. So whether you are transporting it from Nairobi to Mombasa, it will stay into that ball. But now this is the problem. When it is into that ball, I don't know whether you showed some of the pictures we had shared with you. The underside, ndani tumbo, haina scales. It means it's flesh. And because of the cover, which is scales, it means it has a lot of heat, like iko na joto. Wakati imejifunga into that ball, it may die easily from heat.
So it might suffocate itself.
Yes. Itakufa kwa sababu it covers even the head. So it may die from heat. But uncurling itself and running after you and scratching and trying to bite, no. Pangolins are very, very peaceful animals. They don't eat anything that we plant at home, like veggies. They don't eat sheep, like people have problems with other predators, the hyenas, the leopards, the lions, no. It's not an animal that will live, where humans are, because they are very shy animals. So these are animals that we humans are the ones who are disturbing them.
So in a nutshell, you're saying all those ladies that ukiwaambia wanakufanyia hivi, alafu number 2, they also always shy. We can still name them as pango. So from today, ladies, stop being a pango, start acting like a normal human being. Okay, let me be a little bit serious on this. You have mentioned of all the things that are good about them and not attacking, but what effect do they have in the environment, and what plus do they add to the human ecosystem? Because we cannot eat them, so they are not food. We cannot trade them, so hakuna mane. What value do they add to us, and so why should we preserve them?
So when we mentioned about the species, we said we only have pangolins in Asia and in Africa.
Yes.
So it means Europe do not have pangolins. If they have, wako nayo kwa either kwa zoo ama kwa museum, like a dead one, stuffed one. Live pangolins, Asia and Africa. Now another thing with pangolins in zoo, I don't know if anyone here has ever seen a pangolin in a zoo, atuambie. But pangolins do not do very well in captivity. They like to be free. As we said, they are shy animals. In captivity, it means kuna mtu lazima awe anakuja anaipea chakula, anaiangalia, cleaning up their space. and they don't like that.
Yeah.
And now pangolins pia tumesema the way ina feed. Tell me who is, and then sorry, I'm all over.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
Pangolins feed on specific ants and termites. This might be like a jargon, but we have different types. What I needed types in this species. Different types of ants na termites. Hata wewe unaweza, you can tell, kuna zingine zinakaa red, zingine black, others are longer, others are, you know, plump and all that.
Hani akina Karo na Eva.
So pangolins feed on only specific ones. So now for you to keep it, you have to provide more than 20,000 in a day for it to feed on, for that specific one that it likes. Not very easy.
So they are also selective. Zinachagua chakula.
Yeah, and they also like the activity of digging up their food and all that. They like to be free. Okay? So back to why pangolins are important. One, it means all these other countries that do not have pangolins, people are interested in seeing pangolins. Even here, people watching us now, many people want to see a pangolin.
Yeah.
They just don't know where. Or most people didn't know even they exist.
Tell them.
So these other countries come to our countries as tourists to see pangolins. And we know tourists is the backbone of our economy. We know that. Apart from other things that we do not want to talk about. Tourism is a major input into. Yes. Yes, so that is one.
2. Beryl, if you can hear me, give us another advantage of these pangolins. And just like that, Beryl amefanya ile kitu. So for those who are joining us, we're discussing about the preservation, or rather the protection of the pangolins. And we've so far learned what pangolins are and of what importance they are to us. As Beryl was explaining in her comments, you see, they not only just add value to the environment that we are in, because kama uko na wadudu especially mche na vitu kama hizo, zinakusaidia sana ku eliminate this. So they are actually counterproductive, and they have the digging character. When they are digging out where the ants especially live, it is believed that in that area the soil is more fertile, and with that fertility it has advantage to you as a farmer, or possibly somebody that is dealing with the herding of animals. Let's see if Beryl agrees with my statements. Beryl, are we back? Hello, Beryl, can you hear me?
You are a very good student. I can hear you guys.
Great. That's why I passed my exams with a very strong C. Go ahead.
You are a very good student.
Yes, tell us after those digging activities, and there are a lot of questions are coming in for you. So if we can move this, because time is not really on our end, tell me about the digging effect that it makes, and what positive effect it has on the environment and the people around. OMG. Okay, that's John Senga who says, was the research on pangolins carried out in Kenya? Actually, John Senga, I want to tell you this. Beryl Makori is one of the lead researchers that is dealing with pangolins. And in case you missed out, I want all of us together to watch out this clip and find out why it is important for Beryl to talk about pangolins, and why all of us should be concerned about these interesting species that we have within our borders, and of course in Asia.
The major threats to pangolin is illegal hunting and poaching. And this comes from humans, of course. And if it's not controlled, with the amount of pangolin being trafficked, we might lose them soon. Pangolins are very shy animals, and human presence makes them very nervous from our findings. So people should actually work towards, whether in their own capacity, whether it's creating awareness or talking about it or doing research into protecting pangolins in their own habitat. The fact that people still demand for wildlife products, pangolins included, makes me sad and makes me want to do more in my capacity as a researcher and a conservationist. Because one of the reasons is traditional and cultural beliefs. So whether it's in African country or Europe or wherever, there are those traditions and cultural beliefs that link some species of wildlife to whatever they're using it for. Consequences for pangolins 2021 is going to be, bad to us if it continues, if the trade continues. But we are hoping that with more organizations coming up to talk about pangolin, to research on pangolin, to educate people on pangolin, we are actually going to reduce the number of pangolins being poached from the wild.
Great. So again, that was just to help us understand, and those videos are courtesy of AJ Media, and the lady in that clip is, of course, our own researcher and wildlife researcher and conservationist, Beryl Makori. So Beryl, I'll bring you back, but I want us to look at this. It. So, Beryl, are you okay now? Can we finish this? Don't tell me you did that again, Beryl. So, guys, my excuses, it wasn't intentional for this to continue happening. However, you have seen what is happening and what Beryl is talking about. So, Beryl, can we finally have this going? Great.
Yes.
I've shown your viewers a female pangolin, and I will bring it back later on so that people can be able to understand what we are talking about. Yes, they have breasts, wambui, gitao. Pangolins are mammals, and one of the characteristics of a mammal is that they have mammary glands because they are supposed to nurture and feed their children. So rather their offsprings, because when you say children, it looks like wamezawa watoto. So Beryl, let's get this to the very, very top core. I was talking about the digging character that these things have. How do they help?
So when we have the termite mounds, that if people have seen that, I hope I'm not talking to a Nairobi peke yake. The soil is always very soft.
Yes.
And it looks a bit different from the surrounding. It looks, a bit different because it comes from way underneath. Now, as we know, the soil on top, we've destroyed it already with everything else that we are doing, pollution and everything else. Now, the soil from underground is very rich and very nutritious. But then when the termites form the mound, it always becomes a very compact thing. But now when the pangolins come to feed, they break off. I wish I could show a video of pangolins feeding, but they break off the mound and spread the soil and make it, spread all over. Now, that place always becomes very lush. Grass around there, very nice. For the people who come from the village, when you find something like that and then you plant like a banana or cassavas or something like that, they always grow very nicely. So that is one thing that they do good. Another thing is pangolins are very ni wanyama wako na maringo, so to speak. So when they get into a burrow, they do internal, what do we call it? Internal designing. They're like, no, not internal, interior. Sorry.
Interior design.
Interior
Wana design room.
Yes. Wanarembesha. So for example, kama hiyo shimo is just one burrow, like a straight one, they make like chambers, small chambers, you know, like a bedroom, a kitchen, or whatever, whatnot. When they do that, they attract other animals to come live with them in the burrows. So you can find porcupine, an aardvark, bats.
Aardvark ni nini?
Aardvark.
Inakaaje to explain? Let me just, guys, can you find us an aardvark and tell people on the comment section what is an aardvark?
Aardvark is another animal that eats ants and termites too, but it is hairy. Its skin is like the normal mammals that you know. It's not scaly. And it has a very long snout. Yani pua yake ni ndefu, sort of, and a long tongue here. Yes.
Okay, that reminds me, all those ladies on social media, and I always tell this on them, and I never shy away. The next time you do like this,
we might rename them.
Aardvark, spell for them aardvark, because me is spelling Sijin made after Sion.
Double A, R, D, B, A, R,
aardvark. Nimeipata.
Yes.
I know this animal. I never knew that is the name. It looks very funny. I'll bring it on screen in a short while. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So when all these animals come to live there, it is like it maintains a habitat for other animals.
Yep.
Now, for example, where I work, we get a lot of tourists who want to see, you know, they've already seen these big animals before. They come with weird requests. I want to see a porcupine. I want to see, you know, a snake. I want to see this type of thing. Now, if we have such animals living in burrows that we already know, because we already know where the pangolin is, it's easier for the tourists.
Okay.
And plus, again, all these other animals, each animal has a benefit in the ecosystem. Each one has something they're important for in the ecosystem. So having more in an area is a plus to the ecosystem, to the grass, to the... Because what happens in the animal kingdom is what we call like a circle of life. One animal helps another or supports another, which supports another until the cycle comes around. So if, for example, today we lost all... we can say all lions.
Lions, yes.
We'll have so many herbivores that the ecosystem will not be able to handle.
Yeah, just like if all men that you say all men are dogs actually became dogs, you will suffer.
True. So if we lost a single animal, for example, people always speak of, I wish I was alive to see, what is it called? This animal that became extinct.
The dinosaurs, you know? And the sort of,
The only extinct animal we have. Yes.
Dinosaurs, yeah.
Dinosaurs, everyone wishes they saw one. Yes.
Now, but there are a lot of dinosaurs in our current lifestyle. It's only that they have molded themselves.
Our children or grandchildren. They don't even look close to alike.
Okay. But for those who wants to know what an aardvark looks like, I think there it is. There it is. That is an aardvark. So yes, great. So go ahead. I think I got it right. Beryl? Okay. Let's get this to the comment section once again as we close down. No, I'm not getting out. Alikani, are you getting out? No, I'm not. That is Wambue Gitau before the pango. Yani nyinyi mnaenda wapi? Tumewatafutia pango, hamujaona, nitawaletea pango tena. And then yes, Ebu, show us the animal. Which animal are you talking about? The pangolin, or are you talking about the aardvark? If it is the aardvark, I'll definitely bring it back on screen so that you can be able to be conversant with what it is. Okay, and now Wambui says she's in love with the mammal. Very great. Okay, great there. So I think inaitwa panya. Nyinyi mnaita panya, but it has a name. It looks like a panya for those who never saw a panya. You know what Susie Love Susie is talking about. It's an aardvark. The spelling is ADVARK, aardvark, right? If I'm not wrong. Great. So once again, that is an aardvark. I'll put it up on screen. Feed on ants. They do not eat anything, so don't be scared. They will not eat you. So,
Yeah.
Barry, let's close this down and find out what is your call to Kenyans? Because do you have any existing programs, not only to protect but also to promote the importance of this kind of animals that we call pangolins?
Hi, so we have one project working on pangolins. It's called the Pangolin Project.
Yeah.
It's the only one in the country at the moment.
Mm.
So people can follow the project on all social medias.
Yeah.
On Instagram, the Pangolin Project. On Facebook, the Pangolin Project. On Twitter, the Pangolin Pro 1. So apart from following the project so that they can know what's going on, because we often put up our findings, although not really all of it, but snippets of it, so that people can know what's going on, what we are finding out, or what is interesting at that moment. People can also, help us spread the word that pangolins should be left alone in their own habitats. We are the ones disturbing pangolins. Pangolins do not disturb us. They don't bother us. They don't eat anything of ours. They don't hurt anyone. So if we spread that word, people will start knowing that pangolins are not bad at all. Now, another thing that we found out, that apart from people poaching pangolins, there are people who just kill pangolins because they've seen it. As from the comments, I've seen many people are saying it's a very scary, it looks scary and all that. So some people, when they meet a pangolin, the first instinct for most humans is either to run or hit this thing.
Just like we see snakes and we want to crush their heads.
Yeah, and by the way, do you know most snakes are not even poisonous?
Exactly.
That's a story we'll discuss another day. So most people kill pangolins, especially locals that are not into poaching or anything, just because they don't know what it is. They are just afraid.
Yeah.
And most people think it has teeth, it can bite by just looking at it. So if we talk about it and make people understand, slowly by slowly, we are seeing the progress. Many people are now, instead of killing it, they report to us that, oh, I saw a pangolin in area XYZ, instead of killing it. So that's another way.
Yeah.
Plus another thing, more people to work on pangolins. It can never be enough. We cannot do everything. Sisi peke yetu. More people can come up, researchers, what were wildlife, camera, they are called what? Film people, all those people. People come up, work on pangolins. If they want to work with us, they can contact us. Let's make pangolins be known.
Yeah.
Not for the negatives, but for the positives.
For the positive. And one as we conclude this, Beryl, I want to just ask you this very important question that everybody asks. You've said your projects are available online, right?
Yeah.
You are posting everything there, and that is the Pangolin project in Kenya, right?
Yes.
So if anybody of you wants to find out what Beryl and her group are doing, just look or rather Google this out on the Pangolin project. And I think you have to specify in Kenya, then you'll be able to see what Beryl and the group are doing. This is also on Facebook and some of those videos that we've run there, because she is doing an amazing job. This is one of the few people I've met in the recent past, and I can tell you I'm impressed with the kind of job she's doing. So are you doing something interesting that you like us to feature on this program? Because Ellie's Hangout on Sunday wants to address issues about the odds, or rather things against the odds. The real normal woman in our African nation and society will be seated at home feeding their children like the Pangos will do. But this lady is out there in the wild, making sure she's trying to conserve not only the environment, but the wildlife for the sake of our whole generation. So do send us your requests so that we can be able to share these interviews with you and engage you so that we know what you are doing that is changing the environment, the society at large, and of course, being who you are. My handles are the one on the screen there. You can follow me anytime you want to so that we can engage further. And this program is specifically hosted on this platform on Sundays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and definitely on Friday, we have this program running on the TheArtsinHeart. That is on Facebook and YouTube. That is the only place you'll find me on Fridays. So don't look for Friday programs on this platform. You will not find it. Find us on YouTube, and of course find us on Facebook, or simply just type on Facebook Likuyani Eli. Again, the handle on YouTube running down there on the lower thirds, it's YouTube TheArtsinHeart Official. On behalf of everybody that made this program possible, including my guest tonight, I want to say a very, very big thank you. Despite the fact that we had the technical challenge, we did it. And if we did it, give us a very, very, very quick comment there so that we can salute Beryl for her to know she's doing a great job. Just write the hashtag Beryl Makori. Doing great job. Doing great job, hashtag Beryl Makori. And on the entertainment scene, for everybody that knows and has been following TheArtsinHeart, the program that runs every Friday, you definitely know this young man, Eshuchi Lumumba. He was supposed to be on tonight. Unfortunately, due to work-related inconveniences, he's not able to. But you never know, because Tuesdays is the men's den, and we might just have Eshuchi on the floor. On Wednesdays, meet myself and Nyokabi Kamau as we discuss matters, relationships, dating, and of course, relationships among men, women, and whatever you want to call it. That is what we do on Wednesdays. So here is a quick run of Wednesday's shows. Nyokabi Kamau tells me it is the Victoria Falls secrets.
If you have not invested in a proper sexual toy, please do not improvise.
You never know, because at the end of the day, it's about making the fingers do the walking. Sorry, is it the talking?
It's the walking.
So I'll talk on behalf of the girls who are in the rural Kakamega, who don't know what it is, and they go to church and they are told this is a sin.
Most funny thing about sex is the one thing that you're taught not to do since you're a small girl, and then when you get married, everybody is telling you, go ahead and do that bad thing.
Definitely, I've seen your comments and I appreciate you guys. We never have enough time for all this, but for everybody that made it to the show, once again, Asante Sana. And Beryl, your parting shots to the rest of everybody that is watching you. Kindly unmute your microphone. Great. Go ahead, Beryl. Okay. So that's it for tonight. That was Beryl Makori, and a very interesting Kenyan doing great things. See you next week on the same show. That is Ellie's Hangout every Sunday. Do find me on late night in the men's den on Tuesday, and of course on Wednesday, where we discuss and talk about love. So see you then. My name is Likuyani Eli, and it has been a great pleasure hosting you. Till next time.
So every time that I'm by you, I'm gonna make an effort to secure your little insecurities. And every time you stand with me, na kuahidi utajua, utaamini. that I'm just a simple